Looking for Mr. Hackpan's live. Live. Where is it? Live. Live. Let me see where it's live. Here's the link. Programmation. Let me see this. Just want to get the information from the bottom. I want to be able to reread it and explain it. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's only me here. Oh, now there's two here. Good morning. It is, for me, it is the morning. I wrote a little something at the beginning. I'd like you to read it out. Wow, that's still in there, paste. Okay, I'm going to read it to you. I am the child, my father to my grandfather, my father's father. I am programmed and reprogrammed, and I program at my birth as my father and my grandfather and my father's grandfather. At 57, that would create the programmation of today, 107. Since my great-grandfather was programmed from his father 127 years ago, and then the cycle of 147 while the programmation was coming into being chromatic. So as I teach my child is learning from outside his father's circle, from what he sees in the mixture, from what he makes up, from what foods they eat. Have you ever heard of oh, I'm not going to that school. Great, could be a great school, but everything we do in life, imagine if somebody walked in here, if somebody says to me, what do you do for a living? I go, I'm a writer. Did you write any books? Sure did. Am I a good writer? Am I a professional writer? What does it mean to become a professional writer? For myself, I am a professional writer. I am a professional artist for the best that I know. If it's your profession, or is it a separation of what is your hobby? Why do we need to separate the two? Why are we always being categorized and categorizing? And why have we taken the element of categorizing and making it so important that we need the diploma of proof? We always need the diploma of proof. Therefore, if you do not have the professionalism of the diploma of proof, which is approved by certain societies that create that control or govern these realities. If you walk into certain restaurants, they are deeming the food quality as healthy for the system. Our bodies are older, okay? So old, but through science we can calculate. But that's great to calculate. But why add judgment to calculation? Why do we add judgment to calculation? And you may ask, what do you mean add judgment to calculation? Why do we change? I mean, if you look at, I like to always refer this to the Bitcoin ledger, okay? And I like to just watch the lines go across the highs and the lows and where the center is and where the line has been going. The bipolarity of everything. How in the world can nature say one thing of understanding and discussing and agreeing for a majority over 80% needed? If anything is under 80%, that's 25% off of what's left over at 75%. That makes only a 50% understanding. We needed 80, which is 20. We make it to the level of 60, and that's who we are, the second side of one. I'd have to explain that it's all in numbers. It's all in numbers, and it's located either on your calculator or on your keyboard 10 straight, because we end and we begin by the ropes tying together. Why is it 0 ending and beginning is 10? Because we take the rope, the last piece of rope, We tie the knot together and we continue. So that 10th area got shortened. Instead of 20, it's now 18. Instead of 30, it's now 27. Instead of 40, it's now 36. Instead of 50, is that the way it is? Or I lose an inch on each. Am I losing an inch on each side? That tie knot, is that, we're going to count that as 1 inch, or should we count that differently as 1.5 inches? Because after you tie it up, there's still that little end of the rope, and then the knot of the rope, and the end is like a 1, the knot is like a 0. The other one, it's saying 101 every time the ropes are connected. Just trying to get that in here. So I need a diploma in order for my word to be valid. I need a sign that's hanging outside my apartment that says there's a camera watching you. Everything you might do contrary to and whatever. So there's stipulations by these laws. Now, when it comes to food, you can still walk into certain restaurants and eat food that is approved by whatever company like the FDA, et cetera, but they have approved it based on balance of their own personal judgment. Excuse me. Meaning that if you went to McDonald's, right, and you ate 2 Big Macs every single day, and I don't want to say it this way, it's not fair, Harvey's, Wendy's, any fast food restaurant, so I shouldn't have named McDonald's, okay? If you walk into any of these places and keep eating what they recommend to you, it's like giving you a car that can drive, cars we have today, road limit says 60 miles an hour everywhere, places some 70, sometimes you need to drive for emergency reasons, so why make the cars do 110? Why let the cars, why aren't all the cars governed? Is it because we can create action on the street and add more police for speeding? A lot of speeding happens in the 50-kilometer zone, so why go 110? So they give you the opportunity to break the law. But what law? Who created the law? The law was based on the law of physics. The danger of driving too fast, the danger of having a yield sign over a stop sign over a red light. But nowadays, things were created in the past to have a longer reality than what is going on. Now, you can say these are my own personal choice words, or words that I have read off the internet, or choice words or choice places I have seen on the internet because of the way I do my research. You can say it whichever way you want, but I want to talk through nature's way. And the balance of this is you put one security guard out there, you come up with another law, you put another security guard out there, then the 2 security guards come together and they say, hey, we can get more security out here. Let's break some laws that haven't been created yet. We don't have enough on our force. We're going to get more. We'll break some laws. We'll do this. We'll do that wrong. We'll do this wrong. And all the people will be screaming, help, help. And we'll throw them candy and we'll come out and we'll create security at a small cost. But there's a large cost, because imagine they always say, oh my God, the police station didn't make enough money. It's the end of the month. They have to catch you for something. So now all of a sudden, everybody's scared of those who they put into security. But why are they missing money if we should be paying that money? Shouldn't we be paying more money so they're not obligated to run out and get more money? What should be the law of control of freedom, and why? So the candy comes out, and what's the candy? Oh, when you were a kid, you wanted some sweets, you wanted to stay home from school. Not everybody. So they threw you money so the parents can stay home. That's right. The parents are teaching their kids, because the government gave us money, we can stay home because our business is closed. But what did they do for the business owner that he stayed closed? Well, they caused him that if he opens up, he's going to get a penalty. So the employee is staying home and getting free money, while the employer is going to get a penalty for keeping his business open. All for the effect of something that is catastrophic, where people don't mind taking the chance, but now they're blaming everybody if something should be overpowering to the frontline worker, who are taking care of something, they can't actually take care of it. And they're giving out shots. Now they're being approved. All these new vacations are being forced on us. All these vacations are going to be forced on us for something that usually it takes 2 or 3 years to be able to put a ramp down into the park in Toronto. And all of a sudden they have approved all these vacations where they haven't, where usually the science can take up to 5, 10, 15, 20, and 30 years before they understand the science. And the common cold vacation, okay, that common cold vacation used to be one, you're good for life. Now a friend of mine gets a cold all the time and has to go in and get more vacations. So your body changes. Nobody knows the human body over 100 years. How long has science been going on? And it's always in the primitive state. Science is always in the primitive state. The only time it really gets, I'm talking about viral science, certain sciences are always in the primitive state, because you don't know the end result in the lifetime that you lived. Or in the last 500 years, you don't even know, because you don't know the professions and the actualities of everything that happened 500 years ago, because of the kind of documentation we have and the number of people that can actually read and write and manipulate with all the charlatans that are running around. So everything, but knowing the biggest secret of the world, that we are ET. I'm reading off a little screen right now. Okay, this is not something I wrote. This is something off of the screen. So we are ET. We are the extraterrestrials. We were extras, orphans, no longer needed here. Now we have to be removed in a certain way according to the book of creation. But in the book of creation, the Dragon Queen did not make it to the end. She was stopped by the purest thing in the world, Jon Snow. Just as Jack was tied up and handcuffed at the bottom of the Titanic, Jack 25 hooked me up, handcuffed. They handcuffed 10, tied him up, tied 10 up, handcuffed Jack, our plug-in. To now where Jon Snow, the pure and beauty of the snow, to Snow White. Snow equaling to 33. OW equals to 38, 71, our gateway. White equaling to 65, the gateway of our sun. 6 times 5, 6 plus 5 equals 30 and 11. Day of creation, 11, which is 6 and 5. Day of creation, because 6 and 5 recreated, coming back to 1 and 1. 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 equals 2 and 1. The same views as there is for thumbs up. 2 plus 1, 2 times 1 is 3 and 2. 3 plus 2 equals to 5. 3 times 2 equals to 6. 1 and 1 created 6 and 5. Now 6 and 5 will create 4 and 1, the portal to the sun of Jon Snow, and tie 10 up in Jack. And we'll have to show you down on paper just a little piece. John, Jack, Jean. This and this are the same, because arts and entertainment, and this is je, an, I am. This is I am. This word over here is 25, and H and N equals to 22. 47, John. 10, 25, 33, 43, 47. John, 25 and 14, 39. From the cycle of Jesus to the skies of Saturn. And we have Jean. This one is 15, and 15. 33 by 47 in the cycle of 1, 2, 3. In the cycle of 1, 2, 3. 1 times 2 times 3 plus 2 plus 3 equals to 6 equals to 6. Woman. $38 and 28 to the cycle. Creation of the heavens from 1 and 2. We'll create your 7s all the way down in the spirit of 67 from this. 2 times 3 equals 6. 2 times 8 equals 16. 1 plus 6 equals 7 in the spirit of 76. Created as well by number 16, or the reverse of your cube. Or the reverse of your cube, 1 and 6, where the passage of all. 1 plus 1 plus 2.5 equals 3.5 plus 2.5 equals to a total of 6.0. That's your 6.0 and your 1. So the center core to this is 3.5. Now you have to take a slab out of that. So the 3.5 is the fine line. So we have to take a complete slab out of it. There are 3 slabs in here. So if we took the complete slab, what would the value size be over here? Well, we're going to go, we're going to save it. We're going to go 1 plus 2 equals 3. And we're going to go 6 minus 2 equals 3. And then the center would be 1. Is that right? Did we get that right? 2.5 and 2.5 equals to 5. So we did, let me see if I did this right. Let me calculate it. 1 plus, yes, plus 2.5. Instead of it coming at 3.5, right, I went to plus 2. Plus 2 equals to 3, and 6 minus 2. Sorry, I'm a little messy here. I get really excited when it works out. I got no. Okay, let's. It looks all messy. Man, it's all messy. I don't like it. I don't like it. Somebody will look at it. So 1 plus 2 equals to 3. 6 minus 2 equals to 4. I marked this 3. That's why I was really mixed up. 313 would say CAC. But anyways, the center is 3.5. So now the center works from 3.1 to 3.9. And that's where I guess our life would be. Unless we're working the top cycle between 4.1, okay, all the way over to 5.9. Do you follow where I'm going with this? I have to rip this page out. Just give me 1 second. Let me start this over and show you this again. But I just want to get back to and reiterate that we all hand down what we are taught and what we believe. And at the beginning, most people couldn't read or write. So how intelligent or understanding can these people be other than the growing up and running by the laws of nature? And why all of a sudden so many rules that came upon? How many rules were there and why before 200 years? When did the rules and regulations, how were they brought up, and who did they always favor? Who did they always favor? And we can't always like what other persons decide when it's not their business in certain ways. When it comes, and I'm going to take a stand on this, when it comes to a birthright of somebody, if something is not created, oh my God, did you see that? It was created, it was beautiful. I drew it on a piece of paper. I drew it on a piece of paper. Okay, I drew it on a piece of paper. It has no life, the piece of paper. But when you look at it, just like a cartoon character, you tend to get involved with it. But that's not nature. You can't get into nature in certain things that are immoral. As God said, do not put onto any other than I myself do not idolize. That's talking about all kinds of things, possessions. That's talking about things that don't exist or are coming into existence, but yet never make it. Although it's the body, it is not all of the spirit and the mind. That is only the logic of reality, of nature exposing itself, and how the trees are not mad at winter because the leaves have fallen. It's time to sleep and it's time to wake up. Do you get mad every time you have to go to sleep to take away from the day? Your body rebuilds the information. If you don't sleep day after day, is it because you're tired or because your mind can no longer bring in the stream of information from the altar world? So let me rip out this page. And I'm not a professional. So if you walk in here or ask me any questions, I'm not going to give you a professional answer. I'm going to give you my answer based on the knowledge that I have learned, the difference of the understanding of my personal understanding and how others may have a perspective towards the vision of that understanding, how others want to accept things, and how others are so closed down because the system, okay, the system, who has billions of diplomas over the people who really couldn't care less than taking care of their family, going out for a good job, taking care of their kids. There's billions of diplomas out there to twist your mind. Did you buy Javex? Did you buy Lysol? Have you bought a new car lately? Which car did you buy and what commercial did you see? What was the bulletin on that board? What did you read and what did you understand? What did your friends say about you? But when it comes to the pinpoint control, everything has a meaning. Everything is strong. But when it's just you, the little me and the little you, where we don't take life so deeply because we're not trying to take advantage of anything. Oh, why would anybody want to take advantage of us? Because that's the way life, if you take a look at the magic candy that everybody's getting right now. Yes, the magic candy that has come out. It's in your mind. You were born, parents take you out, didn't cost you anything. At a certain age, you started to worry if your parents had enough money to afford everything and you wanted to know if they were doing their budget right. Halloween came and everybody was spending money on candy because the other kids were doing it. Now, whether you can really afford it or not, everybody can afford to go out for Halloween, but can you afford to give out the candy? Have you understood what it means to have so many kids and overpopulate your own house that you can't feed them? That we have to be government regulated to how many kids we can have, and it hasn't happened yet. The same way we haven't been government regulated for our cars, where the cars can drive all kinds of speed, where you can go to restaurants where the food is FDA approved, but yet if you eat 3 hamburgers or 4 hamburgers, you're going to get sick, not because of the hamburger itself, but because of what's inside the meat or inside the bread. Why are all these, the balance of our nutrition this wide, when the balance and restrictions of our life is only this wide? Why? Programmation. You pass it on to your kids. That's the way it is. That's not the way it is. And not everybody needs to have a diploma. Do you need a license to drive? Have you found every security agent nice? Are people nice? No, we're not nice to each other. That's what it is. It's an egotistical world, and we're working for the almighty candy. Yes, they're handing out candy right now, candy for you to stay home, and your employer to get penalized should you go in. So there's 2 reasons, and you penalized if you go in, penalizing us, and now they want to penalize us for our vacations if we don't get a vacation. That's right, the spade. The spade is coming out. The French spade is coming out, and you're going to have an obligation to take that French spade, or you're not going to get the diploma for your vacation. Now I twisted things around because that's the way it is. To believe and not to believe. Have you ever seen streets, potholes, every single year, potholes? Blame it on this, blame it on that. Don't blame it on anything. Blame it on the same thing that you have to fix a hole in the road. Just look at our science, porous. And all it seems like, if you look at, have you ever heard what O is? Le beau, O meaning water, like down the river, down a stream. We have, in the last years, look at all the, I don't want to say it, but just listen to names that end in O, and EAU or just an O. They're telling you a story, and I don't want to get into that right now. O is water, pothole, 420. Always coming in April, around March, April, here in Canada. 420, which is also a relevation of I-80, which is the bypass of 123. So they're bypassing 123 and riding the heavens of I-80. The other side, in gematria, numbers count up in gematria. 1A, 2B, 3C, 4D, 5E, 6F. And that's where this ends, on 6F. And then we go on to the other side. We go on to the other side. We go on to the other side of 6F, and we get 6H. The 8th letter is H. Then the I, okay, the I, which should be the 9th letter, the I is now the 5th letter. The J, which should be the 10th letter, is now the 4th letter. The K, which should be the 11th letter, is now the 3rd letter. The L, which should be the 12th letter, I'm a little confused. The L, which should be the 12th letter, is now the 2nd letter. The M, which is supposed to be the 13th letter, and I don't have 13 on here, so I'm just going to try and see if I can do this. What would happen if I take out 1 and 3? So the M, which should be the 13th letter, now this is only 4, right? But it's not this 4. It is this 4. So in the M, as the 13th letter comes out, the reverse is the 6 and 4, 10. So I have to try and figure that out. I never thought of this before. Now, what I'm also going to do is the new relationship, where we are going to go from 6 and 6, in which is also for woman, the L, which also means woman in French, A-E-L-L-E, which is E-L-L-E-L-E, which is 5 and 12 and 12 and 5, and it equals to 34. If you take away the just EL, right, just create EL because it duplicates letter, it equals to 17, and that eventually will create Mars. It also is, in the short letter count, it is 5 and 3 and 5 and 3, which equals to 88. It equals to 16. It equals to the half-life. At first, hold on a second. I just want to see why it equals to this 3. Why is this? Something's wrong. Okay, right. Although it equals to 16, look what happens when we remove letters. 16 is actually 17 because of this letter combination, duplicates. I remove 1 L and 1 E, 17 and 17, created by number 52, Earth. So now we're going to take into the fact that this is number 13. So when we take 1 and 6 and 6 for 13, we get 1 and 1 and 6 equals to 8. So 13 reverses 8, and it totals to 1 plus 3 equals 4 and 8, or DC8. DC8. What is a DC8? Isn't that an airplane? What happened in that airplane? All of a sudden, boom, now we're connected to the airplane, trying to think of what connections I have with that airplane. So now I want to get back to, so we saw what happens with the numbers. I'm going to have to write that down. That was based on gematria. And I have a piece of artwork where two heads are lying in a chair like this, one here and one there. And then their backs are all lie down on like a staircase underneath this gematria sky. So we have, I'm just trying to design this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just going to let you see what I'm just doing here. So you have A, B, C, D, E, F. Then you have H, I, J, K, L, M. So when you have, what were we doing? We said, what numbers were we talking about? Well, we have A, we only have, A is 1 cube. Okay, or we have A, and we have AB. Okay, and then we have AD. We also have as well BC, and all of these are 1 plus 2, and this one is 1 plus 4, and this one is 2 plus 3. And this is how we create our numbers through these dice. And each one of them has an opposite. Okay, we're just going to skip over the 1. We're going to go to 2. So when we go to B2, is this the way I did it before? B2, which is this, and the reverse if we have 2 of them, we're going to use both angles. The reverse is 6 and 6. 6 and 6 is 1 and 1. The reverse is, here I'll put 11, here we'll put 66. So this is woman. Freedom 55. The word letter count for the letters in the word freedom, 6 and 18 and 5 and 5 and the letter D and 4 and 15 and 13. I have to write slower. 28, 32, 42, 52, 60, 66, freedom. But the commercial says it's freedom 55. And the creation of 55, freedom, is 1 times 1 equals to 1. 1 plus 1 equals to 2. 1 plus 2 equals to 3. 2 times 1 equals to 2. And here's my first created 5 on my star system calculation, which is a calculation like this, where we can get the pluses, right? I'm not sure if we can do it this way because I just ran through 2 of them. Here it was open. Here's my plus, and here is my multiplication inside. So it's obligations, whether it's like this or like this. Remember the angles. Remember this angle. Remember this angle. Remember this angle. Remember this. And then on all the levels. Right? This level is different from this level. And this all of a sudden looks like a beehive hexagon. So they're all telling you stories. Whew, getting a headache here. So this is the gematria. So when we go to H, you notice what happens here. Number 7 is missing, and that's the crown. The 7 is the crown. The 7G, okay, is the creation of the letter D. It gives you 6, 2 6s. 7 connects both 6s. Both sixes, 1 through 6, when you add 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6, it equals to 21. But it equals to 21 in two ways. 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals to 6. Then you have 4 equals to 10. Then you have 5 equals to 15. Okay? And then you have plus 6 equals to 21. So there's multiple levels, and I separated them because in order to create your first level, you need all these together. It's 6 plus your completion and reverse of your first level is 4. We are running less than and not more than. We have been created from the half-life of ABC. So if we are counting down 6 plus 5 plus 4 equals to 15 Mars, then you would add 3 plus 2 plus 1 equals to 6, and this is what they created. Because if we are 1.5 times, now if we're looking at the clock, and we valued that 1.5 times, the 96 seconds would be 64 seconds, or the 90 seconds would be 60 seconds. 6 and 4, 9 birth on 6, creation in 4. We run the 90-second clock to the 60-second clock of our own because of rotation in DC. This will create DC. This will create your mathematics of this numeric value here. How? First of all, we showed it over here. Secondly, I'm just trying to remember that 6 times 4 equals to 24, the 24-hour day. 6 plus 4 equals to 10, and they are both X and X. Roman numerals and the alphabet, the reverse is CJ, 3 and 10, and Mercury. Seems like it's the controller. Through which area, I do not know. This totality of 13, okay, plus 6D plus 0.6 equals 63 equals to 16, and your total is 79, which equals to 16 and 63 again, or the 7th gate of creation. So this over here becomes this backwards, and it shows you count to 15 and then 6, which is 66, 2 different sections. 6, 5, 4 equals to 15. And 1, 2, 3 equals to 6, and this is your cube. Now, if you're counting up, you count into 10. So the letter here is J, and the letter here is O. You're going to get the key to joy is what you will get out of this. The reason in this one, I'm just trying to figure out, is it key? Boy, let's leave that out for now. The reason I have to add that in is because 66, okay, is what creates the 11. The reverse of 66 creates your 11. 6 and 6 on a cube will create your minimum 11. The minimum number is 11. Your minimum number on one face of a cube is 9 areas. It is 11 because of how it shows up here from 11 to 66. 11 minus 66 leaves you your freedom of 55, which is created by 11. So what's created by 36? This is created by 36. Just want to leave that out for now. It wasn't something I wanted to do. We were counting then in the dice. First of all, did we finish this? The count up and the count down from 6. Right? Now, if I would count down from 7, because a dice cube actually does have an outside 7, if I would do it the other way, I would have to add on 7 here, and instead of this being 15, this would end up to be 22. And that is because we added on a gateway. And if we go to the game of pool, these two pool balls are the same color. If I had to create 15, if I have to create 15, I would also have to be creating 6. My 4, 5, 6, 15 to the 7th gate, 1, 2, 3, 6. 15 and 6. I don't create any of these things I find them where they are in their own creation and find a way to explain it. And they explain themselves. So this is J10 and this is Mars. So it's now 1.5 times the difference. This becomes the half-life. Okay, now I'm not really sure if we got all this because I was talking about number 4. How can we create the 6th letter, the 8th letter, the 9th, the 10th? The 11th letter is K. So we go 5 and 6, 5 and 6 equals K for 2 and 1. Reverse. 2 and 1 reverse equals K3. We have 6 and 5, 11K, and then we have 3, and K is 3. We have L, which is the 12th number. The 12th number is L, and we return it. 1 and 1 is 2. The 13th number is M, but because we didn't get 13, we went with 1 and 3, and we reversed it to say it is 10. So why is it 10? Because it is 1. Because A, B, C, D equals to 10. See the way this one equaled to 6? I just have to understand the crisscross. Here I went up to, it finished at 6 and it finished at 6 here. Here it started at 4, ended at 21. Isn't that funny? 4 plus Q. Q is 17. We stand on 17 and blackjack at 21. It's very, very funny. 1, 2, 3 equals 6. We add the next one. 1, 2, 3 creates our first 360. By creating the 4th corner, we can complete the Christmas tree, which you don't see because of the size. And it's the letter Q. And 4 through Q equals to this. And 4 is D. So we're actually talking about dame, which is female, number 4, and Q, again, female, to create number 21, which I guess the eggs are laid on 21. 21 days to lay the chicken egg. So we went to 13. We went to 13 was 1 and 3. As 1 and 3, and we reversed it to 6 and 4. So, wow. M13. M13. 1 and 3. The reverse is the 6 and the 4. And the 6 and the 4 created, as you notice, the 6 and the 4 created, okay, which equals to the 10, is telling me I start over. So my 6 and 4, 10 is A, B, C, D equals to 10. So this is what the numeric, do you follow what I'm saying? It's telling me M13 is 10. And 10 and 13 are above each other, and it is 1 and 4 in creation. This will become 7, this 10. It becomes 7 and 4, becomes Jesus. 13, the 13th letter. If we have another 10, if we create 1 and 3, right? We didn't create 22 because 22 becomes the monkey. Only in the monkey do we become free. Why do I say that? I say it because of programmation. When you go to the casino, they sit down, go to the casino, go to all the casinos in the world. I don't know them all. Monkey, monkey, monkey. Picture card, picture card, picture card. Monkey means to bust. Bust out at 22, to bust out a life. So when you get a 12 or a 6 to 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, you want the dealer to bust if you're playing blackjack. And the only reason you're screaming for this, and most of the time it's going to be an automatic reaction, is when the dealer, okay, shows anywhere from 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Because when the dealer shows 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16, and you're calling for him for a monkey, more often than not, okay, they have these cards because they're going to bust and go over, first reason. So what do you have in your hand that you didn't take a card telling the dealer to go over? right? It's not anything else. He's not going to come close. He can be taking the second card. So anyways, I want to get back to what I began with, the John. We're going to get down here. We're going to end the video in a minute. We are going to get to John. We are going to get to John. We sit on our thrones and we go to the John, right? We go to the John. And this here is 10 and 5. This here is 1 and 14. They both create 15 and 15, or 33 times 47 equals 1551. Take away 5781 equals to 0324, equals to our vibration. I don't do these things on purpose. These are things of creation. This is my last day, and this is the day of creation, 33. 3 times 11. John is 10 and 5 and 14 equals 29. That is the birth through the sun and spirit of 76. And this is John 10 and, sorry, it's 10 and 15. This is 15. I made a mistake. This is 25. This is 39. This is in the sky, 55. Pass, 55. Saturn, 30, 93, 10, 39. I put this because the calculation of this is 27 and 12, which equals to 39, which equals to 9 and 3 again. Here it is, and 8 and 14. So you have 22 and 27. Here you have 25, 25 and 12, 25, 33, 43, 47. So here you have Jesus, time, cycle. Just want to put down here that 1 and 2 and 3 equals 6. 1 times 2 times 3 equals 6. This is woman. This is freedom of the half-life. Not even sure if I can do it that way. I'm not sure if I was supposed to do it that way. Anyways, this is the connection, and only when you dump in the last part over here, the fourth area, does everything come complete into that fourth area. Remember, the heart goes below the line, right? Goes below the line. How much? Here's that last quarter over here. So the center is free. The center is free in both scenarios. So here we get this scenario over here. We have tie 10 up, and that was Jack. And Jack is a plug-in. It's number 25. Now I wanted to talk about, we were talking about before, the 1, for those who don't know, and 6. The numeric count, the O is the 15th letter. The N, okay, is the 14th letter. This is where pi comes in, the beginning of pi, the first 6 numbers of pi. The E is the 05th letter, and the total of this is 34. The total of SIX, 19, 09, 24, the total is 52. Becomes 28 and 24, cycle of the moon, 28 and 24, or it becomes 33 and 19, creation of the spirit. That's just what they say, 33, 11 times 3, 11, 11 times 3. 3 times 19 equals 57. Sometimes one thing just gets its number, and then the other number will get multiplied by 3. We have to understand that rule. 5 and 2, 7. 3 and 4, 7. 1 and 6, 7. The seventh gate, talking to itself. Who made this up? Certainly not me. Certainly a programmation before we were programmed. And until we understand that how we were created and what our alphabet is about and what our language is about and how everything is created, and when we believe and understand and we can see that its own proven sake has told a story to us, then we will start to believe that there's a story that was not told to us by the hidden kindreds of nature. So we did all this. Now, what we're going to do next is I'm going to take the next page and continue. So when we go from number 1 over to number 6, we get 2, 3, 4, 5. There is a separation right over here. So number 3 and 4 must come together, and it becomes 1 and 2. It becomes 5 and 6, and then 3 and 4 is what bridges both sides. 7 bridges 11 and 3. It bridges KC. And that's funny because Kansas City, where the whirlwinds are, anyways, in pool, it also 3 red and the 11 red. The 1 and 1, 2 is your secondary creation from your creation. That's what it's looking like. Here is the addition. Here is the multiplication. Unless the multiplication can also be done this way. And then put this box here, knowing that we only have to multiply this way without using the core. Just leave that aside. So when we go 1 through 6, so we will end up with 3, 7, 2 to a single digit. So we are actually, the seventh gate is in between 2 and 3, or 2.5, and that is Earth's heart on cue. Because it's been divided by 3 numbers, 3, 1, 2, 3 sections. We divided one whole area. The difference in the whole area was 2.5 plus 1, 6 minus 2.5 equals to 3.5, equals to 3.5, which is electric company. All the dice are like that. When we count the dice between 5 over to 1, we have 4, 3, 2, our vibration. This is inside Mars. This is a total of where we only use 3. So here we would go 9, 3, 3 in this situation. If we want to debalance the situation towards 7, we can go 5, 7, 3. We're going to debalance it towards a 5. Is there a reason for that? This became the half-life, and 5 becomes the I don't know what. We can also balance it to the right, where we can go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we can go 5, 9, 1, and that would be A, E, and I. You follow what I'm saying? I'm using the numbers to this side and to this side, seeing what our combinations are like. But anyways, the center between 5 and 1, I'm just going to separate this here. The difference between 5 and 1, okay, is 2, 3, and 4. It is 9. Hold on, I'm thinking of something. Yes, the center is 5 minus 1.5. And here it is 1 plus 1.5. This equals to 3.5, and this equals to 3.5. So all centers are 3.5s. So you need to give at least 1 to all of it. So it would be 6. Hold on a second. I'm just. Oh yes, 5 minus 1 equals 4. 1 plus 1. Just trying to see if this is the one what I'm supposed to be doing. No, sorry. This is supposed to be 2. This is supposed to be 2. Sorry, this is supposed to be 2. That 1 and 5 is a different situation. 1 and 5, the 3's in the center. 1 plus 1.5 is 2.5. 5 minus 1.5 is 3.5. And then you go 2.6 to 3.4. Okay, it's a different situation. Here, it is 5 minus 1.5 is 3.5. I don't like that I don't have any eraser. Just give me a second. I am looking for some white out here. Yeah. Okay. 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 How's everybody doing this morning? No commenting, eh? No one wants to say anything? Makes me feel good. Just say anything. Say hola. What's up? You got to share, download these videos if you think that there's anything inside of it. Now I lost my pen. Here I got my pen. So I'm going to go 5 over to 2 because that's the opposite on the dice. And it's going to be 5 minus 1.5 equals 3.5. And 2 plus 1.5 equals to 3.5, just to show you the center. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we have to spread over a little bit. So it's going to be 2 plus 1 equals to 3. And this is going to be 5 minus 1 equals to 4. So we have to, I'm just trying to see. No, it doesn't. Does it work out? We don't have enough center. I need a whole one in the center. Let me see. 5 goes down to 4. 2 plus 1. I have 1 in between. What is that 1 in between? Between 3 and 4. I'm just trying to figure it out. Why did it work in this situation here? Here the 3 and the 4 came together to create 7. Okay, so here the 3 and the 4 come together to create 7. So it would be 5, 7, 2. This would be 5, 7, 2. This one would be 1. No, this one would be 3, 7, 11. Right, that's what we got here. 3, 7, 2. This one is 5, 7, 2. That's the differences. And then the next one is 3 and 4. And there's 0 separation between the two. So what do I do in this? What was 0.5 and 0.5 separation leaves this with 3, 1, 4, meaning that it goes from 3.1, right? 3.14 almost seems like what pi is, eh? What pi is. It goes to 3.1, works over to 3.9. Man creation of the Saturn skies. 3139. So I'm just trying to figure out that situation. Anyways, let's just drop this for a second. I don't know why I got into that. I was talking about all the Johns over here, what all the relationships of John is. This last one gives us 30, which is part of creation. 6 times 6. All zeros equal to 6. Do we understand why? Does anybody not understand why? Thank you, Light Coded. There's something you need to ask, something you want to look for, something we want to find out, where all the hidden codes are, and things we have yet to learn because nobody has put everything together yet, and I'm still learning it myself every single day, but I'm getting a little tired now. But you know what's funny? I started my video off with this, and it says access to logement. They're coming to visit for inspection. But this paper does not say they're coming to visit for inspection. This is the paper they give you saying we are required. This is a 24-hour notice. is not required if you're going to have the place visited by somebody who's coming to rent or by a buyer. If you refuse, you will have to pay. But they're coming for an inspection. So an inspection is a 24-hour notice. It has nothing to do with this paper. I wish I can understand. There's so many rules and laws and regulations we don't know. People who have the know-how, the knowledgeability, they spend the money, they go out and do big business, they lobby for things, they put things in the news, commercials, and we are programmed. If you don't have a diploma, that doesn't mean you don't know. It doesn't mean you don't have the experience that you have. You might not know the deepest secrets of whatever the element you are in, but you definitely, if you put in 20 years, you definitely should know or might know as much as anybody with a diploma. We do not need the diploma on the wall all the time, but it's nice to know you have your driver's license. It's also nice to know that when you get the car, we should get the car that says, please do not drive over the speed limit, or is that what happens when you get your license? This car may be dangerous. Anyways, understand the difference. Understand we don't know it all. Understand they're not teaching us to it all or teaching us what we actually really need to know. We have been getting a lot of candy for the adults, teaching our kids that it's better to take the candy, the free money, and stay home than to go to work. All of a sudden, things are upside down in the household. No, it's not good to take the candy, because at the end of it, they say the government is you and you have to pay it back. But they imply on your employer that if he brings you into work and he doesn't spend thousands of dollars to set up your place, or if your place is deemed, okay, if your place is deemed, what do they deem your place? They deem it not important. Let's say you're not important right now. You're not important. Who says you're not important? Because my company, all right, a company that you work for, is important to the survival of every single person, which will which will hurt every single person unless they keep that job. So every job, although it might not be important as an essential service, the essential service is me leaving the house, going to that job so I can service my family, because that's an essential service, is your family. And not the free money, because the free money will put your family in debt in the future and you won't be able to pay the hospital bills, and everybody will now be on the front line, but it won't be the front line here, because the front line that has come up between us is now the front line of Ra. Read things backwards. Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. I see things in living color. Raphael, nature and all, we must stick together. We must learn how to do it. Thank you for watching. Peace and peacefully. PEA, Poe.